Michigan has a 5-star player on campus, had a 5-star player on campus. You want to end the episode, bud? Jesus, that was horrible. Isaiah Collier just wrapped his visit to Michigan, and there are rumors of a sped up timeline. Carter, he's down to Michigan, UCLA, USC, and Cincinnati. The presumed race was between USC and UCLA. Then we talked to Davis Mosley, who is a reporter for Rivals on the Michigan site, and he said he thought it was between Michigan and USC before the visit. Either way, he was going to take this visit and wait 2 weeks and make a decision. Sounds like the visit went as good as it possibly could have at Michigan, and there are rumors that timeline of 2 weeks is elevated because he may not need time to make a decision, which would presumably mean he could be headed to the Michigan Wolverines. Arguably the best point guard in this class. DJ Wagner is up there, obviously. Collier's probably second, in my opinion. But 6'4", big guard, can do it all, athlete, extremely high-level passer, would be the most talented player playing point guard for Michigan in a decade. Program-shifting guy, especially when Hunter Dickinson has potentially one extra year, and he's not going to get drafted. Maybe you think about coming back and being a top 5 team in the country if you know you have Isaiah Collier on the floor. We talked about Collier last week, but this has to be a big dilemma for you that Michigan State just had, some great momentum, and now Michigan might just strike right back with a recruiting win, right?
I mean, you have no choice. We threw a couple haymakers at y'all. Y'all had to catch up. So credit to y'all. And that yawn, by the way, was just a troll, Gregory. I don't take it as too much disrespect. On this episode, anything could happen. You knew I could tend to get out of line. I got shoes on top of my jersey, and I'm wearing everything Michigan State. You knew this could get out of line.
Honestly, you've been more in line than I expected. I was really expecting some dancing on my graves, but maybe you remembered that you're headed for 3 straight 8th place Big Ten finishes. So.
Man, that's funny you say that because we're not. But anywho, look, I think Collier is a great ad. To me, he really has everything. Like you said, I think he has everything except the jumper. But I think that's something that could come along. I was actually who was I talking with? I can't remember who it was, but I was comparing point guards with Collier, and the thing that I think separates him is that he does the all-around stuff at the point guard position, and he also has the size. Like, he's 6'4", and he's not skinny. Like, he's ready to play. You can play him right away. You don't have to worry about throwing him out there. I think you can play him right away. He's heady enough to play. He's going to make the right decisions. He's going to compete. It's going to be good. The only thing that could go wrong with Collier is that Juwan brings in a transfer Ivy League point guard to play over him, which is possible because that's in his bag.
It's a big threat.
So for all Michigan fans, you want to pay attention to the Ivy League this year and make sure no point guards are playing well, because if you get Collier or not, you're gonna get a transfer Ivy League point guard. God forbid Princeton's guy has a year this year. Oh, he will be in Ann Arbor next year. Admissions is just gonna eat that shit up.
So to be honest, straight up, I've already scouted Ivy League point guards for next year. I've just accepted this is what Juwan does. What's going to happen. First of all, hopefully what's going to happen. Jalen Llewellyn's going to not be that good. That's not what I hope happens, but he's going to leave. I was
just going to say, what?
Llewellyn's going to leave because all Ivy League point guards aren't that good. Jalen Llewellyn's going to leave after 1 year, hopefully, instead of try to use 2. And then Michigan's going to have Isaiah Collier coming in and Doug McDaniel. And they're still going to process Doug McDaniel cart. They're just going to be like, you got to go. We didn't see enough from you. You only played 8 minutes a game behind this Ivy League point guard. How can we go into a season where we're trying to win it all with someone so unproven? We got to go get this guy from Columbia. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb to me. But hopefully this is the end of the cycle, right? You think if you get a guy like Collier, maybe that torturous cycle of bringing in mediocre point guards ends. And that mediocre is a little mean. Devontae Jones and Mike Smith were pretty good, but there's a ceiling.
Also, he's a different level he's a 5-star guy.
Yeah, I think Davis, who we interviewed last week, hit Twitter and said, is this the most important recruit for Michigan since Chris Webber? And it's a fair question. It feels a little wrong to me. Like, I think there's been some important recruits during that span. To name a few, like Mitch McGarry for Beeline. As soon as that happened, floodgates kind of opened. Like, asserted that, holy shit, Beeline can do this at this level. And they went to a title immediately after that. So I don't know. Collier would be massive because Juwan needs to prove that he can develop his own point guard. And I think he could play with Doug because he is big enough to guard twos. Like, I think as long as one of those two shoots the ball okay, I think they could play together and be a pretty dynamic backcourt. I do think Dickinson's likely going to return. I know you can make fun of me like I made fun of you now, but like, we know Hunter Dickinson's not getting drafted ever. That's not happening. So what else is there, right? Like, whenever he wants to call it quits, I'll thank him. More power to him. But like, this is shaping up that if you get Collier and Jet is around for year 2 and Hunter Dickinson is around for year 4, like, that's a top 3 team in the country, probably, if those 3 are on the roster and you fit the right pieces around them.
So after you just said all that about me hoping players stay another year, you just asked for 3 players to stay another year.
Well, let's go through like the serious evaluation of situations though, because like Dickinson he can't go pro. He can't go pro. I'm sorry if this makes his way back to Hunter. Like, he's not an NBA player. He already did everything he needed to add to his game from year 1 to year 2, and he wasn't on the radar. Like, he wasn't. If he declared for the draft, he would have been 20 picks off of getting drafted still. And he already added the shot. So like, I don't know what there is for him to add that puts him in that position. If he wants to go make more money or just go be a professional basketball player, I applaud him for that. He should, but like, he can make money at Michigan. He is making money at Michigan. So he's in a really like, the most valuable thing in college basketball these days is a 4-year center or just an elite center, because they're likely going to be like Sheboy and Baycott are back. That's what's happening right now. Then Jet, just straight up, who knows if he'll be good enough? He's a lower ranked recruit than Houston and Christie are. I know a lot of people are saying we think he could be better than both those guys in year 1. He does seem to have more shot creation stuff than both of them. And he's going to get a lot of opportunities on this Michigan team that might stink. But Jet Howard needs 0 money. This ain't a situation of a guy who has to get his family out of a situation or necessarily needs or wants to go be a professional basketball player. Does he want to play in the NBA? Absolutely. His brother and his dad are going to be there 1 more year anyway. And he doesn't need the money. Like, why? If you had a chance to come back and be on a top 5 team, why would we just presume this 35th ranked recruit in the class is going to be a one and done? I don't see that.
Well, school stinks.
You think they're playing school at Michigan?
I'm just saying, yeah, I do think they're playing school at Michigan.
Admissions?
Yeah, they're definitely playing school.
You're right. Some people are playing school for sure. But like, that would just shock me. If Jet left Jawan and Jace to be anything other than a top 10 pick, that would be shocking.
Yeah, it would be shocking for sure. If anything, maybe he just calls it quits on his basketball career and just goes full on into acting. But yeah, I see no reason why Hunter Dickinson wouldn't come back and just kind of have like a Luka Garza type run in his career, just like kind of dominate college basketball for 4 years.
This is shaping up for the best Michigan State game in probably 9 or 10 seasons. The year that Michigan made the title run, the first one with Burke and all them, and Michigan State had Zell and Gary and Appling and Payne. Like, that to me was I think they were both top 5 teams in the country. They came to the Brez. Michigan State blew them out. But like, and I think Michigan got them in Ann Arbor later in the year. Mm-hmm. That was the pinnacle of Michigan State rivalry basketball. We're headed back to that next season. And
that's good for everybody.
It's good for us. It's great.
Especially good for you. Because we busted y'all ass at the Breslin last year.
Well, I mean, Tom Izzo could get a split in this rivalry every year if he was playing with you, me, and 3 guys off the street. Just is what he is. He's stubborn, and he wants it more than anybody from Michigan does.
I'll take that.
Great coach.
Put that feather in my cap.
Great coach, Cart.